Assalamu alaikum. Hi friends. Today we will briefly discuss regarding central nervous system. If you are watching my video for the first time, please subscribe, like, comment which topic you want next, and also don't forget to press the bell button so that you will be notified when I upload next video. We will go to central nervous system. So the central nervous system consists of two main organs, which are the brain and spinal cord. The brain is situated inside the skull and it is protected by cranium. The spinal cord, it lies behind the brain caudally and it passes through the foramen magnum up to the first and second lumbar vertebrae, and it is protected by means of vertebra. Okay, the brain is protected by means of skull and it is protected by cranium, and the spinal cord is protected by vertebra. There are subsets in the central nervous system. We will see what are they. Peripheral nervous system. What is peripheral nervous system? The nerve fibers that arises from the brain and spinal cord comprises of peripheral nervous system. Okay, the cranial nerves, otherwise called brain nerves. Okay, that is the nerves arises from the brain. It consists of 12 pairs. That is called uta, fat, va. It include olfactory, optic, oculomotor, trochlear, trigeminal, abducens, facial, auditory, glossopharyngeal, vagus, spinal accessory, and hypoglossal. And it is 12 pairs. And the nerve fibers that arises from the spinal cord is called spinal nerves, and it is 31 pairs. Now we will see what are the other subset. Next is autonomic nervous system. What is autonomic nervous system? This system controls the involuntary activity of the body and it supplies to the internal organs like heart, stomach, blood vessels, and the autonomic nervous system is divided into sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system is responsible for the flight and flee response, and the parasympathetic nervous system is called housekeeping department of the body or the feed and breed system of the body. We will see the next. The functional and the structural unit of central nervous system is called the neurons or nerve cells. So we will just see what are the important parts of neuron. As I told before, this is the functional and structural unit of central nervous system. The neurons consist of different parts. So first of all, the neuron is made up of Schwann cells. Okay, and this Schwann cells is situated one by other like bricks, and the portion between one Schwann cell to another Schwann cell, the gap between these cells is called node of Ranvier. Okay, next, what is axon? The long slide projection you can see in the picture is called axon, and it helps in the conduction of electrical impulses. The neuron has a special property that helps to conduct electrical impulses from one cell to another cells, from one neurons to another neuron, whereas from one neuron to another gland cells or muscles, like that. That is how the central nervous system coordinates all other body activity. You get? Okay. So the Schwann cells has a property to produce myelin, and this myelin sheath will help the external protection of axon. Okay, next is the cell body. Cell body is the spherical structure that you can see the upper portion that is connected to the dendrites, and it helps in the all function of neuron. Next is the nucleus. Nucleus is the hard portion, which is the oval structure. It consists of chromosome and it has a property of protein production in the cells. Next is synapse. What do you mean by synapse? Synapse means the neuronal junction that is seen between two axons. That means the junction between two axons or one axon or another cell. Okay, the neuronal junction, it is called synapse, and the Schwann cells has another name. It is called neurolemma cells. So is the central nervous system consist only of neurons? No, there are other cells also. We will see that in next slide. So the other all cells in the central nervous system is called neuroglial cells or the supporting cells. So what they do, before I tell you, the neurons has a special property that it can conduct all electrical impulses. But these cells, they are non-neuronal cells. That means these are the supporting cells of central nervous system. See, the first one is the astrocytes. So what they do? Altogether, neuroglial cells, they support the central nervous system, they maintain the health of the central nervous system, they act as a macrophages for the central nervous system. So among that one, the first one is the astrocytes. What the astrocytes do, it regulate the conduction of impulses. Okay. What is the next one? Microglial cells. The microglial cells act as a macrophages of central nervous system that helps in maintaining health of neurons. Next one, ependymal cells. Ependymal cells are seen in the choroid plexus of lateral, third and fourth ventricle, which helps in the production of CSF. Next is oligodendrocytes. This helps in the production of myelin. Okay. Next, the peripheral nervous system consists of the satellite cells and Schwann cells also. So the satellite cells means these cells helps in the maintenance of external chemical environment of central nervous system, and the Schwann cells we discussed before, it helps in the production of myelin sheath. Okay. Next, what is next? Layers of scalp. From skin, what are the layers of scalp? Why I include this slide means in most DHS DME exams it is asking. So just familiar with. So the first layer is the skin, connective tissue, aponeurosis, loose areolar tissue and pericranium. Okay. Next one, meninges. What do you mean by meninges? This is the membranous covering of central nervous system, both brain and spinal cord. This will help or protect the neurons, and this consists of 3 layers. What are the 3 layers? This is from outside to inner. The outer layer is called the dura mater or dura layer. The second one is called, or the middle one is called arachnoid, and the inner one is called pia. Okay. Then the space between the dura and arachnoid is the potential space that will be opened during traumatic injury or head injury. Okay. And that space is called a subdural space. The space between dura and arachnoid is called a subdural space, and the space between arachnoid and pia is called a subarachnoid space. In this subarachnoid space, you can see cerebrospinal fluid. Okay. So which is the innermost layer? Pia. For easy, you can remember from inner to outer like pad. Okay. Next we will learn about cerebrospinal fluid. What do you mean by cerebrospinal fluid? This is the fluid that you can see inside the brain and spinal cord. What it does, it will protect, or it acts as a cushion for the spine as well as the brain inside their protection layer. Okay. It is produced from where? It is produced by the ependymal cells of choroid plexus that is situated in the lateral ventricles. Okay. Next, it is present in which layer? Which layer I told you before? Subarachnoid layer. You can see what is the normal volume of CSF? 125 to 150 ml. What is the rate of flow of CSF? 0.2 to 0.7 ml per minute or 600 to 700 ml per day. What is the appearance of CSF? It is clear or it is colorless. You can tell colorless. Next, what is the normal glucose level in CSF? 50 to 80 milligram per deciliter. What is the normal protein amount in CSF? 20 to 40 milligram per deciliter. How many amount of cells we can see in CSF? 0 to 5 cells per millimeter cube. And how many amount of WBC you can see in CSF? 0 to 8 millimeter cube. What is the normal intracranial pressure? 5 to 15 or 0 to 15 mm of Hg. And what is the normal CSF pressure? 50 to 170 millimeter of water. Why this is very important? In CSF, all those points I mentioned are the questions for DHS and DME. So by heart all those. Okay. Next, we will briefly discuss regarding this glucose, protein, cells, how they vary in different conditions. This is also an important topic for your exam. Okay. So as I told before, the protein, the WBC, the amount of pressure and also the glucose level varies according to different conditions. You can see in meningitis the protein is high, in encephalitis the protein is high, and in brain abscess it's normal. What about the WBC? WBC is high in meningitis, it's high in encephalitis, it's high in brain abscess also. So easy for remembering. And pressure increase only in meningitis. What about glucose? Glucose decrease in meningitis, and it shows normal in encephalitis, and in brain abscess it is absent or low. This is also very important. More questions from this topic. Next we will learn what are the color changes of CSF in each condition. We taught earlier that the normal color of CSF is colorless. So what is the color of CSF in viral pneumonia? It is clear. What is the color in bacterial meningitis? It is turbid. What is the color in TB meningitis? It appears cobweb. Okay, and subarachnoid hemorrhage, it is dark color, and in trauma it is bright red color. Okay, so I hope that you understand what we learned today, and I want today's class little brief and short. So it's better for you to listen the class with a notes or a sheet of paper, so that you can make notes together and learn when you listen the video itself. Okay, I hope all you understand about my topic. We will see in next video soon. Bye, take care. Assalamu alaikum.